text. We'll give you a shout out on the text line if you throw your name on the end of that. I mentioned it earlier, but Sean Payton is 8-6 against Sean McDermott. He's only scored under 20 points in 3 of those 14 games. So, I don't know, maybe the Broncos can kind of hang around a little bit depending on what Sean McDermott's defense is doing against Bo Nix and these Broncos. And then another layer to this, Cease, is the Broncos, they have the longest active streak in the NFL right now when it comes to slowing teams down on the ground. The number's pretty big to me at 150 yards. They haven't allowed a 150-yard rusher in 20 games. The Bills don't even get close to that. 130 yards on the ground is what they average. But a running quarterback on a team that puts an emphasis on stopping the run is a nice advantage for the Broncos.
The problem is their third-string running back could start here.
Ooh, yikes.
That's Ty Johnson.
Mm-hmm.
They have Ray Davis, who I saw down at the Senior Bowl last year. Loved him.
Yeah.
Absolutely loved him. Speed back. I wanted the Broncos to draft him. They didn't. Wanted to draft Bucky Irvin. They didn't. But either way, complaining. The Bills, if they wanted to.
Yeah, but dude, they got Troy Franklin.
Yay. If they wanted to, they could really test Denver with their ground game. Because you're going to be so concerned about Josh Allen and the dirty bunch formation. Might be the first time I said it today. But get ready for that. I'm going to tell you at noon tomorrow. I will tell you the exact way to stop dirty bunch formation against the Buffalo Bills. There is a tell. Vance Joseph will know this tell.
Okay.
So when you look at Buffalo, if you're spread out, run it down your throat. And they have James Cook. James Cook is very dangerous. I'm not going to say he's Thurman Thomas for us old heads, but he's kind of on that line of like as a runner, as a receiver, he just kind of beats you either way. He's great in space. He's very kind of quick. And also as a running back, he can create his own space in multiple ways with quickness, speed, and he can also have a little bit of power. Not a power back, but a little bit there. He can run through some arm tackles. So if you look at what they can bring to the table, and Allen as a runner, this is very dangerous. Very dangerous because Vance Joseph is aggressive. We've all seen the blitz numbers. I think it's around 40%. It's 37%. I'm rounding up. 37% of the time he's blitzing you. That's 4th in the league. Well, guess what? Against Josh Allen, if you do that, he's going to kill you. And he can get you there as a runner or as a passer. And part of that problem of like containing their ground game is you have Ray Davis, you have Ty Johnson, you have James Cook, and Josh Allen can still run. He doesn't as much as he used to, but it's always there. And if they get tight, here's where McDermott getting tight can help the Broncos. Okay. Here's where Josh Allen getting wound down is dangerous because if it comes to Josh's hands, and part of the secret of why it's working with Joe Brady, he doesn't throw picks, he doesn't get sacked. Offensive line playing well. But also, Brady does not ask him to be a hero. If they go into hero ball, he can still be that hero.
And that's what we're talking about, 7-0, 10-3. Like, put yourself in an advantage, in a position where you're leading, where that pressure just starts to, I mean, it would be inevitable. I'm going to be watching on TV. You're going to be in the building, so you're really going to be able to sense it. Of what the fan base, the players, the guys on the sideline, body language looks like.
Yep.
I'm telling you, man, 10-3 after the first quarter could change everything about this football game. Everything about this football
game. And it might not change it the way you want.
No.
You know, now if McDermott presses, because the Broncos are up, let's say 10-0, right? And McDermott starts pressing. Well, that's one thing. But if Allen gets into the mode of like, blanket, I'm just going to do everything.
I have to win this game.
Yeah, he can.
Yeah,
he
that's
can.
Scary.
Sorry, Broncos country. Like, that's what Josh Allen is.
Well, and that's the reality of, like, we're joking with Will and having the fun. Like, hey, we're all talked ourselves into the Broncos winning this game. But they are still Josh Allen. It's still the Buffalo Bills. He is the NFL MVP.
Yeah.
They lost their 2 best playmakers on the outside and are a better team this year because of who Josh Allen is.
Yes. Yeah. And they're better. They operate smoother. They're more balanced as you can be. And they still have Josh Allen. Their Achilles heel is their head coach. So how much does he get in the way of Josh Allen? Because if Josh Allen just lets it fly, you're done.
Well, and I also I said this earlier in the week, and I feel even more so about this today. Josh Allen, because of that, like, he knows what the history is. He knows what the talk about his NFL legacy is now.
Can't win the big one.
And if Sean McDermott's calling some BS in his headset, he's overriding all of that. Josh Allen gets into, he gets to say what the play is actually going to be.
We kind of need that for Bo Nix eventually.
Eventually,
yeah. He's not there yet, but eventually you need that guy like, I'm not running that.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, how many years has Josh been in the NFL?
It's about 7, whatever, since 2018.
So, I don't know that I would have said that about Josh Allen last year.
Right.
Because of who he was at that point.
Yes.
I think he's evolved and matured in a very, very big way this season.
And that's why they are in the position that they're in, which is, dare I say, Super Bowl favorites.
Wow.
Them or Detroit.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of sick of both, maybe less so of Detroit, but I'm sick of Buffalo being like, they can do it, guys. Well, go do it. You should have been able to do it for 5 years.
Honestly, I think you're probably right on that. If I had to pick right now,
it's Detroit-Buffalo.
Yeah.
Everybody's Super Bowl right now is Detroit-Buffalo.
Mm-hmm.
So you're facing, in your first playoff game, the team that's most likely to go to the Super Bowl from your bracket.
Yeah.
That's something, The
That's
Bo
what you
Nix
said yesterday, though. It's not like anything would be easy after this.
Right.
But you'd be sledding downhill a little bit after this if you were able to steal a win.
Your toughest task is Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
Your toughest task on path to the Super Bowl is a few days away.
The Ravens. Should we give the Ravens some more respect?
If there's one team I hate in the NFL, it's Baltimore.
Okay.
So you
I
said
like that then.
give them more respect.
Yeah.
I'm like, I got too much sports hate for that team.
Don't respect them if you got sports hate.
No, I got
Don't
sports
do
hate
it.
for that team. No.
Okay.
Not going to happen. But like that is it's another hurdle. But Buffalo, the atmosphere, the pressure's all on them because of their history. Because of the fact, and Will put it a nice way. I can't exactly paraphrase what Will said, but it's like they've had a history of being let down. Will, you can say it. They choke.
Yeah.
They choke. Just like the Chargers choke, just like the Bengals choke, the Bills choke. Point blank, period.
That's right.
The Ravens, no, not with Lamar, but the Ravens have hardware. The Ravens have a history and a franchise of like, we can win it all. Done it before.
Yeah.
And they've done it with defense. They've done it with the offense. Joe Flacco going unconscious there during that run. But like, so Baltimore's a different story in that manner in terms of like, where's their mental kind of stability? This is very unstable in Buffalo. And honestly, because you say like, get a lead and watch that. My mind goes to this. You want to lead, all that kind of stuff. I'm not saying anybody's wrong. But I will say this. I kind of want to hang with them. So it's like 10-7.
Okay.
It's like 13-10, 13-7, something like that. Because then, in a way, you don't get Josh Allen to go, F it, I'm going to take over. You still have McDermott calling plays and Josh Allen is, guys, we got a lead. Guys, we're up by 6. Guys, we got this. Let's keep doing what we're doing. Halftime adjustments, I don't want Buffalo to do anything. Because I want them to feel comfortable in what they've done. And at half, Eddie, I want it to be 17-13 at the half.
Okay.
Kev's real good at like final score predictions, and we'll get there with him. But I want a halftime prediction because I want it to be like 17-10. Oh, man, Buffalo, they could take over. They get the ball first after halftime. So I want McDermott to kind of be so in charge of this that he screws it up.
Like he's comfortable with what it feels like and looks like.
If they get down, and no one should be predicting a Broncos blowout. This could be a Bills blowout. It could be a Broncos win, 35-31. Remember the number. But it's not going to be a Broncos blowout.
No, it's not.
If the Broncos do establish a lead, you wake up Josh Allen, and that is dangerous. I want them to feel comfortable with what they've done. The game plan is working, and we've got the lead going into half, and we get the ball back, and we're going to go to, we didn't score that time. It's fine. We're still up by 7. It's still 17-10. We're good.
Yeah.
And then you start putting it together. And then Bo Nix starts to get that. It's not a short drive, girl. This is a long drive.
Yeah.
It's 10 plays, like in 9 minutes.
Just like
Josh
they did last
Allen's
week.
over there, cold on the side. He got 2 jackets on, man. I'll get you go bundled up there, right? Stumbling over my words. That's what you want. If you're Denver, if you wake up Josh Allen because you're kicking his ass, it's over for you because he can take over.
Yeah. I'll go back to Monday night last year. Remember the Broncos and Bills, and it was, too many men in the huddle? Was that the penalty that got them the field goal and all the situations? So Denver wins the game 24-22. Josh Allen in that game, he only threw the ball 26 times, 177 passing yards, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. Did run 1 in as well, so even 2 touchdowns, 2 INTs. James Cook was a star that day, 12 carries for 109 yards. Didn't score, but that's a pretty damn big average, and just tearing the Broncos' interior defense apart.
He had a fumble.
They're much better this year in that area, but James Cook can still do that to any NFL team and any NFL defense.
And it can still happen to the Broncos. Now, he had a fumble in that game, and they didn't go back to him. That's Sean McDermott getting in his own way. Because I can't trust you, rookie. I'm not giving you the ball again. If he would have gave James Cook more carries, the Bills would have won.
Yeah.
Sorry to all the Russ believers. Nobody believes in Russ. Sorry to anyone. Like last year, they beat him. Last year they're so different.
Even
it's
that
so
game,
different.
Russ only missed 5 balls, 24 out of 29, but only had 193 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, did not throw an interception, but was sacked 4 times.
And this of course he was sacked 4 times.
Right. It's like Russell Wilson sacks and Alexander Guriev goals. Start it at 4 and then see where you end up.
Well, we know going in he's going to get sacked 4 times because, whatever.
Right.
I like that. I like that a lot. The thing is, their defense is so much more fragile now is the way that I'll put it. The Bills' defense is. So you're mentioning Russ's numbers, and he's dinking and dunking, and we're getting sacked all the time because that's what he does. Bo Nix could really thrive in this game. I'm not saying go toe-to-toe with Josh Allen. That's too hyperbolic.
Yeah.
That's too hot-takey, Kev can say that. I won't say that.
Well, I was just going to say this.
Look at him pop in. You're like a wrestler,
he
man.
went toe-to-toe with Patrick Mahomes in Arrowhead, had the game won,
Chiefs
basically.
haven't scored 30 points all year. But anyway, continue.
Yes, but then he went toe-to-toe with Joe Burrow in Cincinnati and basically had that game won. Why can't he go toe-to-toe with Josh Allen?
Sean Payton. He didn't go toe-to-toe with Lamar. He did for a half.
Well,
and then Sean Payton started going for it all the time because he was pressing. You want to do the same thing with McDermott. So your statement is correct, Kev.
Thank you.
My answer, though, is correct. My answer is correct. It's Sean Payton. You don't want Sean to get in Bo's way, and you want McDermott to get in Allen's way because he can, and dare I say, he will. But if you get a big lead, you just woke up Godzilla.
Yeah.
You don't want to wake up Godzilla.
Let the sleeping dog lie or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Same sort of situation. All right, well, let's hear a little bit from Sean Payton here, who we do have some questions about Sean. He was asked about, he said it a bunch this week, right? The young team. All right, well, Sean, what does it take for a young team to go win a road playoff game?
Well, I think you're educating them as to what wins, ball security and in the field position. And, yeah, there's a confidence level that has to be built, though. It can't be just manifested on its own, and that's taken place throughout the course of the season. So, we're going to have to play. Obviously, we're playing a real good football team, and we're going to have to play a real complete game.
So, yeah, they are playing. I like that. We're playing a real football team. That little shot at the Chiefs from what they did a week ago. You are going to have to play a complete game, and how he ended that is why I'm worried. Have they done that yet? Have we seen a complete game from the Broncos?
No.
Maybe the Kansas City Chiefs game, but there's always the caveat to what that was.
Right.
There hasn't been a complete game.
No, and that's why after the Chiefs game in Week 18, we didn't say that.
Right.
Because they did it.
Exactly, right.
They played a complete game finally, guys. Oh, God, preseason game. Chiefs were laying down with their backups. That's what happened, and take it. Take the W on the way home. If you're like Marvin Mims, party for like an hour. Marvin Mims.
Oh, I liked your text last night, though.
Oh,
He
yeah.
was with
Kay Adams.
What's her? Yeah, Kay Adams.
Yeah.
Oh, weird. He wasn't very angry with her.
He's angry all the other time. He loves his Capri Sun.
Sure.
He loves his Capri Sun.
Is that
right?
That might be a rule from Sean Payton? Like, hey, any of y'all talk to Kay Adams, best behavior, right? Because Sean's a big fan as well.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is. Did you know we always put the straw and wrong on Capri Sun? Because you think the bendy part goes out, right? The bendy part, so I can just drink my Capri Sun. I had to tell Marvin this, like, no, the bendy part goes in so you can get the corner.
Oh, and you can get every
You're
last
supposed
straw.
to drink the straight part of the straw.
Wow.
Yeah, that's right.
Do you just flip the Capri Sun over and punch in the bottom of the bag, right? That's what I do. It's so hard to get it in that spot. You just flip the bag over and punch the bottom.
No, I've never done that.
Oh,
never
really?
done that. Shotgun beers before, but
I thought that was like the known
No, the
way.
bendy part goes in the Capri Sun. I had to tell Marvin this.
I've never seen a Capri Sun with a bendy straw.
They all have
It's always
bendy.
the, it's
Every
just the
single one
yellow
of them.
It's all
It's like the
yellow.
little-
Every single one of
perforated
them's
thing.
bendy.
Makes
Are
that
they new
noise?
now? The
I
Capri
feel like
Suns
it's
always
only
have the
been that.
yellow straw.
Kev's out of his element. You haven't had a Capri Sun in a while. But I'll say this, juice boxes abound for everyone on the Broncos if they win this. I'm buying you all a bunch of juice boxes, Broncos, the players. 53 juice boxes for everybody. But, if you are out there and if you're playing against Buffalo and if you get them going and Marvin Mims is your X factor, I really believe the key to this game is Marvin Mims.
Okay.
And isn't that outstanding, man?
It is. He's been, I don't know, I wouldn't say we've called him the key to the game going in, but we've certainly said, well, you won because of what Marvin and Bo were able to do, what Marvin was able to do in that moment. I mean, what was it, 3-4 weeks ago? The dude had 97 return yards, flipped the field 3 different times, and that's why they won the game.
Yeah.
Or 4 weeks ago, whatever.
You have a weapon in Marvin Mims. Use him.
Mm-hmm.
Buffalo's not ready for that.
Well, how about the running backs? Because this is interesting to me for Sean Payton's
Broncos
answer
running backs?
here. Broncos running backs.
Oh, God.
Because they want to use 3, right? Pretty much all the time. And Javante's carries have been taken away, but he's still on the field quite a bit. Sean was asked yesterday if you can use a 3 running back system in the playoffs.
Well, you can use 3 backs in a playoff game if you want to. I think I've said this before, managing the carries, I think it's hard to feed 3.
Yeah, it's definitely hard to feed 3. That's the question there, Sean. He's overcomplicating it for no reason. Maybe the report, I don't know who asked the question, who cares, but are you going to use 3 and let them all touch the football is the question, because it's what we've talked about all year, the tells that Sean's giving. We now know, based off the last 2 weeks, if Javante's in the game, he's not touching the football from the backfield.
Or if he is, he's catching it, right?
Right, yeah,
and
that's what I mean. It's not a turnaround and hand off.
Right. So eliminate that because Buffalo's going to be ready for that. And you have to show something. It's not going to happen, so I didn't want to say it, but I kind of want to say it so it could perhaps manifest by everyone right now, or let's say, what time, Bronco? Let's say 3 p.m. 3 p.m. You're always listening to The Drive, always listening to 104.3 The Fan. But at 3 p.m., I want everyone to go outside and yell to the heavens, give Audric Estime 20 carries. Now, it's not going to happen.
We're manifesting it for Sean.
But if we manifest it, Sean might even hear it out at Broncos Park, powered by Common Spirit. He might be, what was that? What was that? Oh, they just said Audric Estime. And then he'll take credit for it. Sean's one of those guys, and you've had bosses like this. I've had bosses like this, where you want him to do something, but it has to be their idea, Tim Spence, where you can just be like, hey, how about we do this? It's a terrible idea. How about we do that? It's the same thing. This is the greatest idea ever.
Oh, yeah.
So Sean Payton, at 3 p.m., everyone go outside, scream, Audric Estime gets 20 carries. And let's make it happen. Because if that were to manifest, if it were to come to fruition, and Audric Estime gets, it's silly. It's silly talk. 20 carries, Broncos win. I guarantee you, if Audric Estime gets 20 carries, give me 15. It's like, what's that one TV show? Name That Tune?
Oh, yeah.
I can name that Broncos win in 15 carries for Audric Estime. If he got 15 carries, I'd guarantee you won.
Well, and it's not crazy talk. It's crazy talk because we're doing it in Denver, and this coach is allergic to running the ball. That's why you feel like it's crazy. It's perfectly normal, actually, to request a running back to touch the ball 15 times in a playoff game. 20, I thought, was a little short. Then you went back to 15 because you know what the situation is. So it's not crazy at all. It's crazy that we have to beg for it. That's what's crazy about this. And I say we, is it the media, the fan base, the running back room, the running back coach, everybody begging for it.
Well, as TLC used to say, I ain't too proud to beg.
That's the second time you quoted TLC. You sure you're not doing that on purpose?
When was the first time?
No, I'm quoting other guys now.
Oh, okay.
Because remember, the boss keeps on.
Oh, yes, yep.
Don't be a creep, whatever. And he's like, that's the second time you've done it. You're doing it on purpose.
That was Jeremy Piven that said that, right? I believe so.
I don't remember.
We'll look it up.
Whoever the captain was.
We'll look it up.
I don't know. One more from Sean here, talking about Josh Allen. How do you slow down the NFL MVP?
The first key, if you're trying to slow him down on schedule, is obviously taking away, the primary read. The challenge is his size and strength. You can spy him, but he's one of those guys, and Lamar's the same way. Like, you have a guy on Lamar, and he's got this stiff arm that just keeps you at bay. Those big physical type athletes, can create and stay on their feet. I mean, there's a run he has last year in the postseason that was something. And so, populating the ball, but coverage during the second act. The first act is the 5-step, the 7-step, the 3-step. The second act is the unscripted. That's key.
I like that. Oh, I like that he was also about to say 2 more questions. He loves to dictate what the time frame looks like.
Yes.
I would love for Patrick to be like 4 more questions. I like what he's talking about, that second scene, the second script, because he's right about that, especially with Josh Allen. But you know what stood out to me there? This is about the 3rd time I've heard him say it this week, that Josh is going to break tackles. That gang tackling, rallying to the football, that's going to be a big one. Now, can Justin Strnad get there? And does he have the speed to get there if it isn't outside the play? And then can the rest of the troops come and rally? That's going to be a point of emphasis because that's the 3rd time Sean's mentioned it.
If I am Justin Strnad, I feel like a little worm on a big blanket hook. Because that's about you, bro.
Yeah.
That's about you. Whenever we have meetings and people will dance around stuff, it's like, are they talking about Dover? Are they talking about, they're talking about me. Yeah. You agree. Thank you. Thank you for that.
Well, it'll be
my
my turn
therapist
soon.
thanks you as well. But it's like, yeah, we know. Hey, Sean. And Sean is usually pretty direct, so I can imagine what he's telling Justin
What he's telling
Strnad.
Strnad, yeah.
Cody Barton's missed a couple as well. Sometimes PJ might come in with the shoulder and doesn't wrap up. Sometimes maybe Brandon Jones. So it's a message for all, but I think it's directed towards one, and he wears number 40.
Well, and I actually like that. Like, you don't have to call the guy out publicly.
No.
that.
Hey, Justin.
You do it behind scenes.
Right.
Even if you do have to undress them. These guys are professional freaking athletes. They
whatever.
can handle. Everybody should be able to handle. We're adults, right? Handle some criticism from time to time. In fact, that's what's wrong with the damn world, Cecil. Nobody's criticizing each other enough.
Hey, we shamed Brandon Stokely enough to drive in during a blizzard.
I know. How about that?
Shame works.
That's
It
right.
does work. I'm not saying you can go overboard with it, but if this world had a little bit more shame, then maybe a little bit more would get done. Because Brandon Stokely, there's like a skiff of snow. Stoke doesn't come in. We make fun of him relentlessly. He hates it, by the way.
Yeah.
Y'all making fun of me. And then he comes in a blizzard. Like, Stokes, you should have stayed home today.
Yeah. Well, that's what I told him when you were still driving. I'm like, ironically, you're now going to be stuck at work because there's no chance you're making it into your driveway this afternoon.
Right. I heard that when I cut off Drew on the way in. I was like, this is funny. Who's this guy behind me?
Earlier we were talking about Dan Jacobs' DeLorean as well, and things
that's
we
awesome.
change.
Yes,
It is so
yes.
awesome. Am I premature in saying I'd go back 4 months? I guess it's longer than 4 months, 6 months or whatever it is, and not give Jamal Murray his contract extension? Am I premature on that?
No, God, no. You weren't premature at the time.
No, I know.
So your DeLorean, I've noticed this, and I want yours in Ramoslaw.com text line 303-713-1043. Like, your DeLorean has a bunch of Nuggets bumper stickers.
That's because they're supposed to be back-to-back champions right now. That's why.
Okay.
They're supposed to be celebrating back-to-back championships.
Because when
for
you
the Denver
said,
Nuggets.
like, go back a few months, I was like, is he going back to, because, of course, I'm thinking about football. Shocker. And I was like, is he talking about training camp? Like, because remember, ZB didn't like that Bo wasn't getting everything.
Oh,
and
he didn't like the competition.
Yeah. And then the boys in the morning show just make fun of ZB relentlessly.
Yeah, they do.
It's a great back and forth. It is.
do, yeah.
ZB, we don't want that smoke here. We'll give you a little smoke, but we don't want that smoke. Because I was on the side of Zach of like, I don't want Jarrett Stidham getting anything.
No, it was a pointless.
It wouldn't have made Bo better, right? If Bo got everything from day one, would they be here? Like, oh God, please. But I just like the idea of like, Bo's the guy, man. Bo's the guy. And you knew it. I saw him in rookie minicamp on the first day, and I went and I spent my money on a jersey.
Yeah.
They're not cheap anymore.
You know what else? One of my other DeLorean go back and fix moments has a Nuggets tie. I'd tell my girlfriend not to go to that bar that Linus Kleza was at. That's one I would do.